Nothing is actually wrong with your life, but somehow you feel late. Someone your age is buying a house. Someone is building a successful career. Someone is traveling the world. Someone is already where you thought you would be by now. And slowly, without realizing it, you start feeling like you're falling behind. You look at your own life, and instead of seeing progress, you only see what is missing. The opportunities you didn't take, the goals you haven't reached, the person you thought you would become but haven't become yet. And the strange part is, from the outside, your life might actually be fine. You are learning, you are improving, you are surviving difficult moments, you are moving forward. But your brain doesn't measure your life by your actual progress. It measures your life by comparison. And this is where the feeling of being behind begins. Human beings are naturally built to compare. Thousands of years ago, comparison was a survival tool. Your brain needed to know, am I safe? Am I doing enough? Am I keeping up with my group? Because being left behind in a tribe could mean danger. But today, that same psychological system exists in a completely different world. You are no longer comparing yourself to a small group of people around you. You are comparing yourself to thousands of carefully selected moments from other people's lives. Every day, you see someone else's achievement, a promotion, a relationship, a new business, a perfect-looking lifestyle. But your brain forgets something important. You are comparing your entire life to someone else's highlight moments. You see their results, but you don't see their uncertainty. You see their success, but you don't see the years of failure before it. You see where they are, but you don't see the path that brought them there. And because your brain only sees the final picture, it creates a false conclusion. Everyone is moving forward except me. This feeling becomes even stronger because of something psychologists call the arrival illusion. The belief that once you reach a certain point, you will finally feel successful. When I get that job, when I make that amount of money, when I become more confident, when I find the right person, then I will finally feel like I am where I should be. But when people reach those goals, the brain quickly creates a new standard. The finish line moves, the goal changes, and suddenly, the thing you once dreamed about becomes your new normal. This is why someone can achieve something they worked for years and still feel behind. Because the brain is not designed to constantly feel satisfied. It is designed to search for what comes next. Another reason you feel behind is because you might be comparing your timeline to a timeline that was never yours. Society gives us invisible deadlines. By this age, you should have figured things out. By this age, you should have a certain career. By this age, you should know exactly who you are. But human growth doesn't happen on a universal schedule. Some people discover themselves early. Some people rebuild themselves later. Some people take longer because they are building something deeper. A tree does not grow faster because you measure it every day. Growth often happens quietly beneath the surface before anyone can see the result. And your life works the same way. Sometimes the feeling of being behind is not a sign that you are failing. Sometimes it is a sign that you are becoming more aware. Because the moment you start questioning your direction is often the moment you start creating a better one. The problem is not wanting more from your life. The problem is believing that your current self has no value until you reach the next level. You can have goals without hating where you are. You can want improvement without seeing yourself as incomplete. You can be a work in progress and still respect the person you are today. So how do you know if you are actually behind or if your mind is creating the feeling? Ask yourself 3 questions. First, behind compared to who? Is there a real standard, or are you comparing yourself to random people online? Second, what evidence do I have that I am not making progress? Not feelings, not fear, actual evidence. Because sometimes your emotions are describing your anxiety, not your reality. Third, What small action would move your life forward today? Not 10 years from now, not the perfect plan, just today. Because progress is not created by constantly judging yourself. It is created by returning to action. If you feel behind, you don't always need to completely change your life. Sometimes you need to stop looking sideways and start looking forward. Your journey is not late, it is simply yours. The person you compare yourself to is living a completely different story, different starting point, different challenges, different timing, different path. The goal is not to arrive before everyone else. The goal is to build a life that actually belongs to you. So today, take 5 minutes. Write down 3 things. 1 thing you have improved, 1 thing you are currently working on, and 1 small action you can take next. Not because you need to catch up, but because you are choosing to move forward. Your life is not behind schedule. You are not watching someone else's race. You are building your own path. And sometimes, the moment you stop chasing someone else's timeline is the moment you finally start living yours.